First clock in or clock out is there we go. We gotta start with that. Basketball is in a better place today than when you were growing up. Are you clocked in? Or are you clocked out on that?
Can I give you a long answer?
Yeah, look,
it's in a different place.
Okay.
So I don't know which one is that in or out. My generation of basketball players, I mean, the biggest difference jumps out is this generation of players, and it's been like this for a while, way bigger, stronger, more athletic, better trained, can dribble with two basketballs around cones very effectively, can shoot better. Further.
Yeah.
I mean, the shots I see in freshman and JV games, dudes bombing away, from beyond NBA range. Like, our coaches, you were lucky to get maybe 1 or 2 threes per game when I was, at that age. But the difference is, I think we had a better understanding of the game. We knew how to move. We knew how to set screens. We understood ball movement. We played more basketball, and I think the key to being good at basketball is recognition. It's humans are really good at pattern recognition.
Yeah.
And just recognizing defense, advantages, weaknesses in the defense, moving the ball, passing, screening, cutting. We knew and understood how to set screens and how to use screens, how to curl or fade. This generation of basketball players doesn't know that very well at all. And because I think it's a lot from the training.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of people hiring trainers, and there's a lot of two-ball dribbling and dribbling around cones, and not enough. When we played, we didn't have those. We just went to the park and played pickup.
Just played. It was trial and error.
Right. So I think we understood what it took to win and lose games, because when you play pickup, your parents aren't there to make sure you get in the next game or your playing time's good. You have to do something that keeps you on the court.
There you go.
Wow.
And more specifically, you have to win.
Yeah.
Right? So if you don't win, you're off, and you may not get back on for a while, right? So you're going to do, whether that's crashing, rebounding, setting screens for somebody, playing great defense. You just wanted to stay on the court. So you figured out whatever it took to help your team win, because, you didn't want to lose. You didn't want to be off. This generation of players, I think they're overcoached, they're overmanaged. Their parents, they're typecast. You're a point guard. You're a 3. You're a stretch 4. You're a big whatever. There was no concept of that as much, because when you play pickup, one game you might be point, one game you might be shooting, one game you might be posting. So I think our generation, we had a better understanding of the game.
Yeah.
But we weren't as good individually. So what does that mean? It's easy to say it's worse, but then I watch the Warriors.
Yeah.
And, they're amazing. Like, that is beautiful basketball. That is as beautiful a basketball as I've ever seen. So I would say it depends.
Okay.
Show me a team and I'll tell. When I was growing up, we had this sick. I grew up in the '80s, right? And everybody thinks it's like the Celtics, Lakers. No, it was the Sixers. And then the Celtics, and then
this is true.
It was Sixers, Lakers there was like a 5-year stretch. The Sixers, it was
Dr. J,
from 78 to 83, they made the finals like four times, and they won it all, right? And by 83,
he's a Philly guy. He's a Philly guy.
Yeah, I'm a Philly guy, right? So so by 83. The Sixers were, the Celtics had won in 81, and they'd been to the finals once or twice along the way, but the Sixers had kind of were better from that early 80s. And then after 83, Sixers win it all. The faux with Moses, and after that it was the Celtics.
Yeah.
Lakers, and it was the Celtics Lakers till the end of the decade, till the
Right.
Pistons displaced them. But those were teams, and every year you watched these teams, and it was really about team, and those teams were great teams.
Yep.
But the rest of the league, they weren't necessarily great teams. You had like
Yeah.
3 great teams. Then the next generation, it was the Bulls. Those Bulls teams were incredible, right? Maybe some of the greatest teams ever. So we judge basketball sometimes by the top. And how can you say that basketball is any better now than it was when you had the Bulls? But you have to look at the whole totality, what the rest of the league looked like.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say. It's different.
Yeah.
But I think overall, that's the fundamental difference. Is individually players are better now, more skilled now, but have less awareness and understanding of the game.